Hello, friends, and welcome back to another Needlessly Nostalgic. I'm one of your hosts, Tyler Nichols, with my other host, Mr. Lance Velchek. Lance, we have made it through the Elm Street franchise. Not gonna lie, I've really been enjoying this. What about you?
I have not seen a lot of these in a while. I've been waiting for the mythical box set. So for me, it's been a blast, man. I love holding off on certain things just to revisit them because you always forget little nuggets.
Oddly enough, we have like a lot of people that listen to the ranking episodes. The ranking episodes always do very well. So this is where I will say, for anyone that is listening to this and has not listened to our prior episodes, you definitely probably going to want to check those out just because we get into even more detail, it's a fun hang. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, if you're enjoying this ranking, you're going to enjoy the full episode even more. So definitely don't sleep on those. Haha.
Nice. Is that like if I was not a lazier man, there'd be a rim shot right there, but there won't be because I or you are not going to put that in. But in my mind, it's.
See, you say that, but then I'm going to put a rim shot in there and everyone's going to go, Tyler did that to make Lance look like a dummy.
And if you can insult in an edit, then I support that 100% because I do the same to you, dude. I do the same to you.
It's like, yeah, he's telling me I'm not going to do it. Guess what? I'm going to do it.
You know that I hate rankings. These always stress me out. It took me probably a week to do this.
We've
which is
done
fun.
3 rankings.
Yes, and I hate every one of them. I love the.
No, but this is our
participation. 4th. What the hell? What's the other rankings? We had Friday the 13th, John Carpenter,
and then we did Evil Dead. Yeah. I
think just because it's a small series.
I know.
Okay, that's my bad.
But no, that was me. I was realizing as well. I'm like, oh shit, no, we did do it.
Well, that's the only one I don't mind ranking.
That one is so obvious.
This is tough because I think the first few it's going to be very easy, but then after that, it's going to get kind of weird. It's going to get strange.
Yeah.
I hope I don't piss people off, but if I do, that's life, and we'll get through it together.
I mean, anything outside of the only thing that would piss me off is if the remake is listed anything other than number 9. Other than that, I mean, I understand any order for the Elm Street franchise. Literally any order. Like I could see someone coming into this and they only like MTV Freddy. So guess what? They don't like the original one. I would understand any type of viewpoint with these. Because outside of the one shitty remake, I love this franchise.
Okay. I didn't think. I'm sorry, were you supposed to text me? I feel like we're miscommunication. I thought we were on the same page that remake is a top 3. Yeah, it's not the best. But I mean, like it's going to round out a trilogy. Is that not the norm, or are we not starting off that way? Should I change my list? Nah, I'm having a good time.
I was going to say, anyone that has listened to our absolute demolishing of the remake will know that it's not going to rank well. So yeah, I mean, also I want to make sure before we actually get into it, you do have 9, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I
12.
Oh no, I could see you not doing Freddy versus Jason because I forgot Freddy versus Jason when I did my initial ranking. So only
because I think you gave me shit about it before. I mean, I think in every episode I talk about this series, how there's like only seven entries, and we keep going there's more.
If I wasn't so lazy, I would do a comp of all of the times that I correct you of it's not 7, it's 9.
But that's the thing. I believe it to be 7, but I understand that it's 9. In my heart, it's 7. So that's all I'm going to say. I need you to explain the rules because this is our 4th, as you've now corrected me. And I'm going to be real honest, man. I still don't understand how we do this. I just wait for you. This is so complicated. It stresses me out. I feel like I'd have to study this. You do some crazy ass thing where it's all math related. I don't know, man. Go for it, please.
All right. So how we do our ranking, it's whoever lists it second. that way when we discuss it, the person who likes it the most is going to be the one that's discussing it. We don't want to talk about something that I rank low and you rank high. That when we don't want to talk about that early since you rank it high. So it's essentially it's how we're able to work out it. It's able to make it averages. Like this is essentially makes our rankings as we go through them an average of our actual rankings. So I think it works out. I think it makes the most sense because I've liked the podcasts that I've listened to that do it this way. So I guess people can let us know if they think there's a better way to do this, but I don't know. This has always made sense to me.
All right. Well, I still don't get it naturally, but I'm just going to follow your lead. I guess we should start off with number 9, right? Is that what we're going to do? Are we good? Jump in?
Yep. Let's get into this. I'm on Elm Street 2010.
I have the remake.
Yes, it's I'm not a big shocker that this is on the bottom of our list. This is awful. Like this is such a bad movie, and it's made worse when you watch it at the end of these 9 films. Like it just so much worse. And it's made all the more annoying because Freddy versus Jason, it actually does feel like a good ending for the character and for Robert Englund. And then we just get to shit all over it with Jackie Earle Haley's just weird looking mug in this.
It's funny. I've always hated it. I didn't like when I saw it, and then, just it got worse and worse. There are random things that throughout the years I've been, I think, more tolerant of. One of them being Jackie Earle Haley's interpretation of Freddy. I've never hated it. And this time, maybe because we watched all of them together and it just was such a sour mood to kind of end here. And I saw the flaws more, and comparing it, you get to see just how much they stumble. But I hate this movie more. And I'm going off of, I've always hated it. This has never been one where I was like, that's not bad. No, it sucks. Jackie Earle Haley, outside of a couple interesting ticks, I didn't like his voice. I've never liked the makeup. I found his outside of just him looking creepy as a human being and in the flashback dream things, everything else sucks, man. I mean, really, the only thing about this movie that's positive is that Clancy Brown got a paycheck, and I just want that man to afford his mortgages. I'm sure he got a summer house somewhere, and I want to be happy. Kyle Gallner sucked. Thomas Dekker, I don't know why that guy's face makes me angry. And he plays this just like pompous pretty boy.
Because he's supposed to be the Rod, who is this like, I don't know, almost trailer trash badass. That then they make him into this weak, timid metrosexual. Where I'm like, I don't need why does he have guy liner? What's going on with this? Yeah, I feel we had a whole episode where I think for 3 hours we just bitched about why it was shitty and went into it. The dreams, it takes the worst part of every Freddy Krueger movie. It's not fun enough to get creative like 4 and 5. No. It's not unique enough to do the earlier dreams and be kind of creepy. Outside of like one scene, I think in the body bag, one looking shot, everything else just felt cheap, man. And especially that by this time we had done some really interesting and good remakes. That's the weirdest part. It's like if this came out in 2001, it'd be like, well, yeah, because we just didn't know what we're doing. But we had The Hills Have Eyes come out a couple years before that. And that to me is like a gold standard of how to really take a property and make it your own. So I don't know, man. And what's her name is Nancy Sucks. I know she didn't have a good time, but I find myself less tolerant to that because it's like, do your fucking job. I mean, this is kind of me where I would love to be like, no, she was great in a shitty movie. That's what actors should do. Be great in a shitty movie. And nobody stepped up here. Again, I know that that's not everybody's fault. There's a lot going on, but you agree, right? I mean, nobody really owns it. I don't hate the cast as much as you. I'm more forgiving of them. I think that they aren't directed well. I think they do the most with what they can. But yes, this is obviously at the bottom of their filmography in terms of performances. I'm sure neither of them are big fans. You know what? I have a take.
Go for it.
I think this is the best that Katie Cassidy has ever been.
What else is she in?
She's the black girl. She's the girl from Black Christmas, Black Xmas.
Oh, I think I liked her more in Black. Wait. Black Christmas.
Black Xmas.
Actually, the fun one from the early 2000s.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember hating her in that.
With her creepy boyfriend.
Cynical. Yeah, she's fine. Wait, you think she's better in this than that?
I honestly do. I think the character's better in Black Xmas, but I think the performance is. She has this weird whiny voice in Black Xmas that I think again. It's like she's Laurel Lance in the Arrowverse. So I've seen a lot of Katie Cassidy performances, and I've always thought she was really bad. And I'm just saying, if there was something you were bitching about the performances, and it made me think of Katie Cassidy and how it's like, I don't think she's great, but I don't think she's great in anything. And I would oddly say that this is her best performance, just for me.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really compare because I haven't seen Xmas in a while since I think we covered it on the show, and that whole movie exists in this weird little bubble that I like because it's like such a weird movie.
The rules,
so I can't really fight you on this.
The rules for Black Xmas really don't apply for many other things. Like there's so many things that movie does that then other movies do that I fucking hate, but it's like it's okay because it happens in Black Xmas. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes there's exceptions.
I think the biggest takeaway this last rewatch, and I probably haven't seen the remake closer to when it came out, maybe on DVD a year or two after, whatever, but it's not something I revisit often, is the voice bothered me more than it ever has. Weirdly enough, I found it grating.
Yeah.
You know,
like how much he talks or just the actual like timbre
well,
of
he
her
talks
voice?
Too much for what they're trying to do. But the voice itself, for some reason, I was like, man, I do not like this anymore. It's something that didn't bother me much when I first saw it, but he has this, it's not a draw per se. I'm trying to, this is a visual thing between me and Tyler because he could see me, but obviously people can't. But it feels like in Army of Darkness, when Bruce Campbell is getting sucked into the book, right? His face gets real long, almost like an exaggerated earnest face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like he fucking grabbed his voice and just pulled it out. And it has this weird, goofy sound. Yes, what are you doing?
He could be brothers with Sling Blade, like Billy Bob Thornton's Sling Blade.
Yes, I forgot you mentioned that. Yes, it's the... Man, I'm sitting here fucking making Army Dark references. Yeah, Sling Blade, man. Yes, this is Billy Bob Thornton's interpretation of Mr. Krueger. Well said.
Yeah, which I've ever since Carl Childers is his name, and yeah, it's he and Jackie Earle Haley's Fred Krueger could be brothers. They have a very similar like I don't know how delivery style. Yeah, I've always hated the voice, but I hate so much about Jackie Earle Haley's performance in this. I also really dislike his stature. Like he almost it's like he doesn't have a neck, which when it's a wide shot, he looks so just silly. It's almost like a child in a Freddy Krueger costume.
So it's funny you say that. The thing is you're right. His body type is kind of just scrawny. The thing is Robert Englund is kind of scrawny himself, but they shot him better.
He's long and lanky. So then when you're long and lanky, put that layers of makeup on, it just fills you out. Someone like fucking Jackie Earle Haley, he wasn't long and lanky. He's like oddly proportioned. So it's like, it really kind of it accentuated his odd proportions.
And they just showed him too much. He was too, they filmed him like it was Nightmare 4, but they set it in the tone and style of remaking Nightmare 1. So everything about it was just wrong. Yeah. They took the wrong lessons. It's a wrong mixture. They didn't get the early films, and I don't truly believe that anybody went out of their way to make a bad movie. But this is a comedy of errors where everybody just happened to do the wrong thing altogether, and we got. And the funny thing is it's not like you and me are being punk rock right now and being like, yeah, it sucks. Like, no, as a country, we came together and said, fuck this movie.
This is the most successful Elm Street movie in the franchise. And the producers collectively went, yep, everyone hated it. We're not making another. Like they had it greenlit before and they went, people fucking hated it because that's the rule is you always lose it in the next film. Like that's because the audience is like, no, I fucking hated that last one. I'm not going to see the next one. So if they were to make another one, that's when people would be making their opinions heard, and it would probably be the lowest grossing in the franchise. So we can at least be grateful that I would assume Bob Shea put a stop to it.
Now, the question I have is, I feel like there's been movies that have course corrected for the greater good. Like, I guess the problem with this one is a course correction wouldn't be enough. It'd have to be a complete tear down and rebuild.
Yeah.
But I would have wished I wish they would have done that, because we're going on now. It's been 15 years, 16 years at least. And it's too late. I don't know. I think we've talked about this. I don't know if we could ever really do a good one. I don't trust modern movies and modern writers. And I just don't know if this kind of thing could be really brought into the new realm. I think you disagree with me, but who knows? But regardless, this killed it. So
yeah.
We know that.
Yeah, this killed it. We'll see if I think there's some kind of avenue to bring it back and do something, but yeah, this one didn't work out. Did we forget to do best kills for some of our later entries? Because I feel like we didn't.
I'm absolutely sure. I'm sure, because we're just hanging out.
Yeah, do you have a best kills for the reboot?
No. I liked the one shot with a girl in the body bag that kind of reminds me of the Evil Dead remake. That's the only positive thing that come, because the kills were all just shittier versions of the originals, no?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I liked just for the stupidness of it, I like the glove through the chest. It's so out of nowhere and
fine,
dumb.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just, because I realized it. I realized it when we did one of the, because I think New Nightmare was the last one we did it for. Because I don't think we did it in Freddy versus Jason. Could be wrong though.
Yeah, who knows? That was so long ago.
I know. All right. Next up, number 8. I guess I'll say mine first. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
Interesting. Okay, I actually have Freddy's Dead.
Oh, nice. Number 7, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Well, I'll jump in.
Yeah.
I've always had a slight soft spot for this. I have a lot of issues with it, and depending on my mood, this time I liked it less than I have before. My big thing is, if you just kind of focus this on a really weird swing in the 90s with that sort of 90s aesthetic and vibe, it's a fun movie. It's not a good Freddy, or a good Nightmare movie, I should say. And so I think that really comes down to how you make that connection, because I believe a lot of people, rightfully so, look at this and say that's not a good Nightmare on Elm Street film. It disrespects the legacy, especially for the ending of a character. And so I'm completely on board with people hating this. I've just kind of made peace with it, saying, well, it's not the end. It was a really wild, weird entry that tried to end it in the dumbest way possible. And so I could like it if you step back. That's my big pitch for this. If you step back and in a little silo where all this does, it exists on its own, I think there's fun to be had. But watching it straight through is where I had the biggest issue, because I'm like, it bothers me more. I used to just kind of pop this in randomly. So, the reason I have it as number 8 is because I do think watching the whole series as an ending to Freddy Krueger, it is complete dog shit. They took the wrong lessons. They went goofier and funnier. It's just not what I want. Yeah. But I also will say that I don't hate it. So I'm a little contradictory here.
Yeah, I ended up enjoying it more so. I think one thing that helped was, I say this phrase a lot, for those that are not aware, I do a series for Joe Blow called Awfully Good, and I did an Awfully Good on Freddy's Dead. And the whole point of the series is kind of just moving through the film and just making fun of it. And so I did that and really just enjoyed it because there's a lot of stuff to be able to make fun of. I watch some movies and I'm like, oh, I've had a couple where I thought I was going to make them into a video, and then watching them, I'm like, I don't have any content. Freddy's Dead, I remember, because I'm weird when I write stuff. I watch something and then I'll pause when I have an idea to write and then keep going. I remember being 15 minutes into Freddy's Dead, like on the time code, and I had been watching it for an hour and a half, where I was just like, I was so obsessed with little details of things, and there's just a lot. There's a whole, we talked about it on the episode. There's this whole chalkboard with this teacher's crazy fucking scribblings of what he thinks is like the Freddy timeline, where he's blaming Freddy for like the Nagasaki and Hiroshima nuclear attempts and Elvis's death and Martin Luther King. And there's so many things where it's just like, this level of detail is hilarious and just, it's fun. And the production design is interesting. It's like, yeah, it looks like the studio backlot with, 3 buildings, but
the town of Elmwood. Is it Elmwood? Why am I spacing?
It's Springwood.
Springwood. Yes.
Oh, you confused me with Elmwood. I'm like, wait a minute, huh?
Well, 'cause I'm probably slightly dyslexic. Yeah, I know. It's cheap, but it's cheap in the great '90s way, though. There's that early '90s, late '80s cheapness to me is charming in a way that we'll never get back to. That's why cheap movies now bother me. But it's like, now, back in the day, dude, cheap was a different kind of cheap. It was a run and gun, gonzo kind of cheap.
I'm having I can just watch anything from the 80s and 90s just because it's from those eras. I immediately just feels like a warm blanket as soon as something pops up. The quality of the film could be complete shit, but it just makes me feel good. It's like, yeah, there's something about this era of film, and like, yeah, this was 91, 93. Why am I? Wait, no, 91, right?
91, yeah.
Initial instincts should have stuck with it. But yeah, it's just like, it's weird stuff in it. It's Billy Zane's sister. It's Alice Cooper. It's Johnny Depp on the TV. It's Roseanne. It's Tom Arnold. It's such fucking randomness. It's insanity.
Yes. It's a wild swing that couldn't happen again, and for the best. Let's be honest, for the best. That this movie is one of the reason I don't hate it is because it exists with all the others, and I get to kind of pick and choose what I'm in the mood for. I completely agree that if I saw this in theaters, I would have been offended, and that's not a word I use a lot. I would have been offended. It's like, dude, I've been going through this whole series, and this is how you bow out. That being said, is that just based on the market, how movies were made, obviously the video store VHS, ways to make back money, that you could get weird and dumb like this. And though I don't think it was a good idea, I do love the idea that weird and dumb could exist in franchises as big as this, where, as we always complain now, studios take far less chances. And so, the remake makes more sense. I get a shitty remake, of course. It's calling back to the original. It's doing everything worse. It's CGI. It's heartless. Whereas Freddy's Dead may be a bad nightmare, it's still a fascinating movie.
Yes.
And it does follow some of the things that we do like some of the kills, like the Carlos kill is straight out of number 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Stuff like that. And there are visual gags that I do actually like. The map where we're Fox, every town has an Elm Street. There are things in this that I think do work. I want to blame cocaine. I'm just going to blame the early 90s.
It is funny, though, of like the number of great lines that come from Freddy's Dead. Because, I mean, as much as Freddy talks in the remake, I've said it multiple times. It's like I like the one line from him. Otherwise, there's not much of anything to enjoy about his like what he says. It's just doesn't feel like Freddy. Just there's you when you swing and a miss for something when it comes to dialogue, it's brutal. Like for an example, the most recent Superman trailer just came out, and there's this great line. And he's like, "Eyes up here," where it's so simple, embodies so much about Superman because he's taking attention off of civilians on the ground. It's like, yeah, he just wants the bad guy's attention on him. It's so simple, but you immediately, it's like, oh my God, yeah, that's such a Superman line. There's like no Freddy lines in that remake. Freddy's dead. I mean, I'll agree with you that England is his delivery changes throughout. He's not consistent with that. But the character, like the lines themselves, they feel like Freddy. Like it feels like Freddy, which I'll always appreciate for those for 7 films.
Yeah, it's Freddy to the extreme of the the pendulum from the dark to the light. It's him. Like I think in the video I said, this to me is probably the seed of Chucky of the series. Though I think this handles everything better because I think Robert Englund just has more of a command of the character. And though I don't want the character to be this goofy, I don't think it betrays, the character. It's like, it's not my version. I don't want this version, but it's not like, oh, that's not Freddy. It's like, no, that's just Freddy now, cartoon killer, as opposed to child killer. That's what all this is. If this was animated, animate this movie, dude, and it actually makes a lot of sense.
Oh, dude, I remember that terrible. Sorry, I went back to the remake.
The Goldbergs?
No, I'm sorry, I went back to the remake. But how great would a T-shirt be? Remember that terrible shot of Jackie Earle Haley where he's like got his like looking super wide, like it's the production still that everyone uses to make fun of the movie.
it's the punching down picture. Yeah.
That with a "Not My Freddy."
Yeah, I'm sure it exists. That we can't be the first ones thinking of that in 2025.
I don't know, but it's gonna be some needlessly nostalgic merch. I'm gonna get our resident artist Kier to make a replicate that hilarious photo.
That's good. Yeah, just make it even dumber.
Oh, 100%. I can envision. I can see the vision clearly. It's happening. I'm saying it here so that it actually happens.
I want one more positive I'm going to say. I think this is an amazing poster, and I'm talking about the good old fashioned VHS where he's coming through like that red. It's clouds. I don't know, but as a kid to me, it just looks so interesting. Where it's like he's coming through some sort of portal. You have the bus at the bottom with the lightning. It's just super cool. It's a great fucking poster. Obviously, the whole point of it is to promote the 3D aspect, which that's a conversation for itself. But I don't know. Yeah. I just for a series that's had some of the best posters of any horror franchise, for as dumb as this movie is, I do personally really like that. And you've seen, which I think it's going to be on Instagram. I got this amazing framed poster of this movie that I have, not because I like it, just because I thought it was so fascinating to take such a stupid movie and give it such a beautiful, epic and meaningful artwork. I was like, that's would that be the definition of irony? Because if not, I don't know what is. So I own Freddy's Dead. So you go over to my house, you might think this is one of my top movies, but it's like, no, I think it's a beautiful poster.
Yeah, that poster is awesome. What's your thoughts on the DVD, the DVD one where it's like Freddy super overlit and he has like his glove up next to him and Lisa Zane's in the background. He looks so cheap. Dude, I fucking hate that. I appreciate that they made like the I think some recently, last couple of years, they actually did a painting like they did for like 3, 4, and 5. They like redid them all. That's fine. But the one you're talking about is like offensive. That to me is like, whoa. If you tell me that's from like Czechoslovakia, which I know
Czech and Slovakia are two different countries, but let me just go with the joke here. If you said it was like some fucking shitty rundown Eastern European country in like the early 90s, I'd be okay with it. But the fact that that was like somewhat of a recent cover, I mean, recent to me, I guess DVD is a little old. Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's the Drew Struzan style. Yeah, I love that I would love like a Freddy versus Jason in that style. Because unfortunately, we haven't gotten. That's kind of also, that's the thing with, so obviously this is all speculation. We do not know with the 4K Elm Street set, but all signs seem to indicate right now that it is not a Shout Factory release, which is disappointing because one of the cool things about Shout Factory is the artists, they do these amazing posters that are essentially like a love letter to the franchise. They did it for Friday the 13th. They did it for Halloween. They just did it for, I'm not a Mario Bava fan. He's fine, but they're doing an amazing like 10 or 12 film collection that's done in the same style. And the artwork on it is gorgeous. And so it is disappointing that we're not going to get the Elm Street version of that.
Yeah, especially that this series has, again, at least in my mind, probably the best posters, the best artwork.
Yeah, and best cinematography. So most worthy of 4K transfer. Because I love some of the Halloweens look amazing. Some do not. So super inconsistent. I would say all of these Nightmare on Elm Streets are at least visually dynamic.
Yes, 100%.
The remake looks like a music video, but I'm sure that cleans up a bit better than, I don't know, Friday Part 2.
Sure. But I'll take Friday Part 2 over that any day of the week, you know?
Yeah. All right. What's your number 7?
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
I thought so. When I made my list, I was like, I think this is going to be the part where it could be a swap, but otherwise, I think this is going to be the bottom 3. So I'm not shocked with that.
Well, start off this one. Tell me your thoughts.
So I didn't have, this was, so we've said in the past how when we do these ranking episodes, we are really trying to go off of our feelings from this viewing. I'm not just going, well, this is always how I felt. It's like, no, I'm going off of you guys have been through with us through for the journey, through the journey. You've heard my opinions on it. So it's like, I'm trying to go off of just these recent watches. And this was easily the worst Freddy's Revenge watch I've had in a while. I usually tend to like it more. I don't know if it was just because this was within the context of the franchise, because, doing these franchise chats, it's just different. Same with extravaganzas. Us watching, I don't know, Escape from New York was different in the context of Carpenter's filmography versus just throwing it on randomly. So the context really does change things, and the context behind the Elm Street franchise, I love it so much, and one of the things I love is the lead. I love having a good lead, and Jesse's not a good lead. He's just not. We talked about it ad nauseum, but he doesn't do anything. It's I think Lisa Kim Myers, she does everything. She's our final girl. The camera just doesn't follow her a ton.
She's the person that makes all the decisions. Yeah. It's funny. I think I put this above the Freddy's Dead mainly because I think my love for the look of this character, and obviously I think some shots and some things in here, some kills are more interesting. So it's closer to a Nightmare movie than Freddy's Dead, but I am with you. This is a movie I've liked more and more as I've gotten older, and especially when, it might have been 10, 12 years ago that the documentary came out, and actually before the documentary, I think there was articles where people are it's super gay and on purpose. And, as a kid, you don't pick up on that stuff. And it was fun to revisit this. And I've grown to like it more. But with this rewatch, like you said, if we just popped on Nightmare 2 for Yumi to discuss randomly throughout, like if you're just doing a podcast where we're just picking random movies, I would probably have a better time. But after watching 1, I was more flabbergasted that they essentially took all the things they set up and changed them. They ignored them. They went different ways. So I was more bothered by that this rewatch. Now, I should say that in the context of the Freddy universe, I still like this movie. I still enjoy it. I will still put it on. It's something that I absolutely want in the box set. But it definitely feels deflated coming from the first one where it's like, oh, they didn't really understand what they had. That's what this movie said to me. They didn't get what made the first one good. No. Bob Shea and company I'm not blaming the director. What's his
Jack
name?
Shoulder.
Jack Shoulder. Yeah, Shoulder. I'm not blaming him because I think he's a gun for hire and just did what he was told. I truly believe that Bob Shea understood, I think, surface level why the first one did well. And then this movie, I think he learned real fucking quick because he came back and, course corrected. But I do have a lot of issues, like you said. The final girl in all these movies is tough and sort of, proactive. And in this, Jesse's just a little bitch, which is fine. It's fine for if this is a Friday movie, but for a Nightmare movie, I don't want a little bitch. I think Mark is fine in it. I don't blame him as an actor. I mean, clearly that's just the role it was, but I don't like that being the role.
He looks like a little bitch.
He was. I feel like, he sat there and fucking cried and ran around a lot. And it's just, there's a lot of things in this movie that on its own are fun. But when you're trying to tie it into a franchise that are setting up rules, these new rules, the possession angle on its own, fine. But it's like, I feel like we missed something. We could have had an interesting, like even if this was a similar movie, but you changed the rules, I felt like it just would have been better. I do love Freddy's look. I think I like Robert Englund's performance. I think we've slightly disagreed, though. I will admit, at least during this last rewatch, it was a little too dark. I couldn't see as much, but I still am going to stick up for that fucking makeup anytime. I love the style, the enhanced brow bone, the hooked nose, the red eyes.
Yeah, Kevin Yeager, right?
Yeager, man, yeah. But, in the end, this is never going to be, it's never going to be the top one. And the reason is because we all agree it's the biggest misstep. But at least they misstepped early on, and we had a great run after. I mean, at least we could say that, right?
I mean, goddamn, you just went on quite the tear there, and I think you perfectly summed it up. So I feel like I don't even have anything more to add on with Freddy's Revenge. You just nailed it.
Sorry, I would let you talk. I didn't mean to steamroll you there.
No, you were fucking on a roll. That's why I just sat back and listened. I was the whole time like, oh, fuck, Lance is fucking on one right now. Hell yeah.
Well,
made me go, shit. Does he have notes? I don't have notes. Fuck.
My notes are Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Dream Child, and then it has an asterisk, and I have 2 things. No. We're just going off of. I feel like the way these are better is I want to have a conversation with a friend as opposed to being like, well, actually, at 52:23, it's like, that's what the episode's for.
No, I completely agree. Just get more of the general vibe. Carlos was I think the best from Freddy's Dead, and then 2 was Grady, right?
Grady,
his friend.
Which one's Grady?
Gets killed through the door.
In the room with
because we don't have any good deaths in that movie. It's pretty much the only one that has any kind of visceral.
The Grady's scene is the best scene because we have coming out of his body,
so
and
it's tied in. Yeah, which I guess makes sense. I mean, we carry. I mean, the whole reason I like Carlos's death is because of the buildup. So I mean, his death itself is literally just him exploding. So I guess technically we got to count all the buildup too. So I would say
100%.
I just want to make sure to clarify because just in case I don't remember, I just want to make sure that we do best kills for all of them, just as like a kind of reminder.
And this does have Ferris Bueller's dad in it, so I think that should give a little bit of a notch. Yeah,
Ferris Bueller's dad, and that fucking the pool that is 100 yards away from the house.
Yeah, we realized that it was a different property because it's like, why would they put the pool that far away?
Yeah.
You don't put a pool in your house and have to walk half a mile.
Yeah, but
you tricked us. You're filming from the back of somebody else's yard. You moved a fence and
proven by the film. Oh, dude, they didn't even move the fence. Because remember when her mom comes up, you can the fence just goes across and there's no gate. Like it's just a fence. Where it's that was the whole reason that I posited the idea that it wasn't even theirs and they just used it from a neighbor.
Oh, see, I'm so dumb that when I saw it, I didn't notice the fence. I was just like, it's too far back. It doesn't make sense. Nobody would build it that far back, especially when the yard is just grass. Oh. You don't have a fucking patio that you're hanging out on,
Yeah, just so random. Okay, number 6. What's your number 6?
Dream Child.
Mine is Freddy versus Jason.
Oh.
Number 5.
Mine's Freddy vs. Jason.
I thought so. I wonder how much that's gonna, or it's just gonna, we're gonna be close, but then it's just a little bit because I think it's gonna happen with 3 and 4 too.
So what? We're on Freddy vs. Jason. Is that how this crazy thing works?
Yes, Freddy versus Jason.
Well, being that you ranked it lower, why you such a prick?
I said at the beginning, I love all of these films, and I think that the order is dependent on the day. It's kind of like the Friday the 13th franchise. I think that I'm pretty dead set on it can be a little fluid, but for the most part, it's like the ones I like are the ones I like, and it's pretty much in the order. Nightmare on Elm Street, I feel a little different, where I'm like, I'm very similar to you, where I'm like, this is hard to even pick. Don't make me pick between my 8 children. No, that's how I said 8.
It's funny, that I'm giving you shit, but I am on record saying that I hate lists. I don't like them. I don't want them. So it's like, you took the bait. Yeah. I mean, look who you're talking to. It's like, I don't even know if any of this would be true tomorrow. Who knows? Besides the top 3, this whole thing could be different. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to survive, man. I just work here. And
I do think that I know for a fact, I enjoyed this Freddy versus Jason viewing more this time than in the context of the Friday the 13th franchise. And I think it's super obvious as to why, because this was an Elm Street movie. Freddy versus Jason is an Elm Street movie. It's not a Friday the 13th movie in damn near any way. Even the Friday the 13th elements are Elm Streetified.
And they don't ever use the name Voorhees, so that says enough.
No shit, really?
Jason. They just say Jason, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Because it's cheating. I've mentioned this before. It's like they're pretending like this is a fair fight, but it's like, nah, man. They're making sure their dog is coming out on top here.
See, but dude, you say that, but it's like, I'm gonna give it to you. It's like Jason wins the battle, so they still gave him that.
He does. Yeah, just because he's bigger. I mean, he needs to. But I mean, the reason what I'm saying in terms of, I do think they're the fairest they could have been, especially coming from a company that, the house that built Freddy. But what I mean by that is that after we've seen it 2 times now in different perspectives, this time, like you're saying right now, it was more obvious how little of a Friday the 13th it was than it was when I was watching it the first time as a Friday the 13th. I was like, oh, it's not really Friday the 13th. This time I was like, oh, and not really. You dumb bastard. My past self is a moron. It is so clearly a Nightmare on Elm Street movie that just happens to have a guy in a hockey mask named Jason. That's what this is.
Yeah, it's like because it's hilarious because they treat it like they don't have even the information, like they don't have rights to the New Line Fridays, which they do. So, but they're just not going to show them because those are the worst Fridays, and they don't want to. We were bitching about, or at least I was bitching about how Friday gets the really shortchanged in this, and that we don't get that awesome montage of old footage.
Yes.
But the more I think about it, it's probably a good thing, because if they did do that, it would just be Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X.
Well, I think that's the big issue, is that essentially the franchise part that people love, they don't have access to. So essentially they have to pretend Like they mention things in this general way, which is smart. It's really a smart way of thinking about it because they realize like, oh shit, the ones everybody loves we don't really own. So we got to talk about it like this killer that's been around. We're going to bring back Pamela. So that's enough to be like, oh, Pamela from part one, Jason's still around. Everything must be in between. It must exist in between. I think that's such a really good way to go about it. Because it's like, and I love Jason X, but essentially that's in the future. So only thing they had is Jason Goes to Hell. And I'm glad even they knew that shit. That makes me happy that they knew. They're like, we can't be going back to that. The movie that introduced Jason's glove, we can't even show because we fumbled so badly.
Which, dude, the more you think about it, the more ridiculous that is. Because the end of Jason Goes to Hell literally has the Freddy Jason moment. So it's even stranger that they don't call back to that. Like, why would you not? Why would you not just have this but you would think even just
I think it's smart that they did. It's smart. They realized they fucked up.
But like, even just showing a shot of like Freddy's grabbing the glove and bringing it down, like it's weird. Like, but in the context of even the edit of the movie, I could easily throw that in, especially with the like, essentially when it's either transitioning to Freddy talking about Jason stuff, or you can do it with the once it transitions over to Springwood. Like you have two spots to do it, and I think it would work. So it makes it all the stranger.
But the problem is that the way they set up is Jason's just kind of, hanging out in some fucking grave. So, then they'd have to be like, well, I thought he pulled his mask down. Like, why they, I mean, really, they should have written it in a way to include that scene. But it's almost like they're just like, nah, people at least got excited a decade ago. Let's just redo it. Mm-hmm. That's, but yeah, I'm okay with that just because I hate that movie. And even for that part that I'm like, okay, I'll give you that. It's a cool part. Fuck that. What they should have done is they should have pulled a Evil Dead and reshot it. In the context that makes sense in this film,
Dude, yeah. Because then you'd have the correct lens. You'd be able to light it, make it actually look good, because obviously Adam Marcus didn't know lighting. Wow, yeah, well, that is the solution. You definitely nailed it there.
Army of Darkness said, get a Fonda in here. Yeah, that's all. It
takes 2 seconds to do too. You're already fucking recreating a Friday the 13th scenario. It's like, why not just do just that way you have the connection. Lazy.
I think this movie and I understand why I don't want to go as far as to say they don't respect Jason, because I don't want to believe that because it'd make me sad. So I might just be coping. But it's quite obvious that they believe they have the superior product and are treating this in that sort of fashion where it's like, listen, we got Jason, we'll throw him around. Like they're not being dickish about him. They're not just be like, he trips a lot and he's, he can't open doors. Like, okay. But regardless of that, it is just like a Frankenstein's monster with a hockey mask. That's what that is. So I don't think they put a lot of effort in it. I think they put a lot of effort in making a Freddy movie, which is why I put it a little higher, because watching it this time after the remake, especially, any issues with it being 2002, which, I have some issues with, of course, I was alive at that time. I still think this was impressive for being a 2002 Freddy Krueger that to me had a lot of influence from part 4. So it's like taking it from the 80s and jumping over the 90s into 2000s. I think it did a pretty good job. Not flawless, but I guess I was more impressed seeing that 2010 fumbled it so hard.
Yeah. It was 2003, by the way, not to be that guy.
Oh, was it? Did I fuck that up in the video? I feel like I kept going.
I don't think. No, I think I did. I would have corrected you on it.
No. I'm saying I think in our Freddy vs. Jason, I kept saying 2002 and then correcting myself of 2003. For some reason in my head, I want to say that was 2002.
Well, it's because it was, in development for so long, and obviously you might have gotten like the poster at the movie theater in 2002. But also, I think that just happens sometimes. I think especially for a movie when it's a year or two around it, it's like, yeah, it makes sense to say you got it in the general vicinity. I was just doing it as a podcast. I want to make sure for your sake that it's corrected.
Yeah, but there's a good chance that like by the time we get to number 1, I'm going to be like, yeah, and that's why 2002 is Freddy vs. Jason. I'm just going to have to just own that for now.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. Then our Freddy versus Jason. I mean, my favorite kill would be the bed. I don't think anything else would top the bed.
Mean, I'm actually trying to look up my phone because I'm so bad at like remembering kills. The bed to me as a Jason kill is truly authentic. I think that's where I'm able to kind of I think lay down my guard as such a big Jason fan. The bed kill is badass, but I don't know if that's my favorite.
We don't have a fucking Freddy kill. Oh no, Mark, as the friend gets killed. He gets there's Freddy's back burned into his back.
I think that's, to me, that is a great. I mean, it's a little low key compared to what we're saying. It's not too much, but I mean, he does the whole tendons in his feet. Yeah. He's fucking with his dead brother. Yeah. He burns him. He slashes his face. So I would actually say, like, for being like, I guess, a little more meat and potatoes, that's a great kill. Yeah. So I would say that's Freddy, and then Jason's the bed. Is that a good compromise? No,
I'd agree. I mean, I think overall the bed is the best, but we are doing this in the context of the Elm Street franchise, and I do think that his technically Freddy's only kill is the best one because of.
And that's something I'd never noticed until I think this rewatch that he doesn't. Yeah, he's just more.
It's because the Gib moment, the Gib scene like gets a decent amount of play, but then obviously Freddy takes the kill, and same with that happens, or Jason takes the kill. Like same happens with Freeburg. Like it's like even if there's a little bit of build up with Freddy, it's Jason that then actually gets the punchline. Which I mean, whatever. What's wait, it's mine now, right? 5.
Let's do it, buddy.
Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Okay. Once again, we're reversed.
Yep.
I'll let you take this.
Yeah, I liked this more, this viewing, than I don't know. I think it's all Alice Johnson. Our watching through this time kind of cemented her as my favorite character in the franchise. And so even some of the flaws for this movie, it's like we're still getting Alice Johnson center stage, which big fan of. And I think that 4 is pretty much the blueprint for what makes a good Elm Street. So this one kind of, in a lot of ways, like kind of just apes what 4 brought, but then it tries to add in the child dreaming storyline, which I love so much. It's such an interesting concept. That's some of the best Elm Streets are ones that add mythology, that add to it rather than add in a unnecessary convoluted wrinkle, which I think can happen.
The mythology is pretty. I think we talked about this throughout, but this is probably the only series where the mythology, though it changes. I mean, obviously the first one, it has to kind of be its own movie for this to work, but for what I'm trying to say, the first one being its own movie, right? Let's take that out of it. If the first movie works on its own, but if we have to have a series, the mythology that's added through 3, 4, and 5 is like, it's outlandish, but in such I feel like a fair and I don't know, meaningful, like it's like a cool way to explore the villain, Amanda Kruger, son of 100 maniacs. Like there's a lot of things where I'm like, it's changing the mythology, but it all feels authentic and it feels right. Yeah. This movie I've never hated. I don't get why. I mean, I should say I don't get why people hate it, but it's definitely a downgrade from 4. But I think that's just because 4 was such a high bar set. I think this is on its own a very good movie, man. I mean, yeah, there's some issues with Freddy's makeup, parts of him that, I'll be honest, seem a little stale. This was a rushed movie, but like you said, the dreaming through the baby, I think, is a really, really clever way to sort of bring him back. And I love the gothicness that Hopkins brings here. I really do, especially because if this was made any other time, they would have absolutely been like, no, fucking look like 4. And I love 4. And I love that look. It's maybe the best look, but I do appreciate that this went darker which is against the grain, especially for being as funny as 4 was.
Yeah, I mean, I people should make sure to check out on Thursdays. We do the look of, and it's for the film usually the film that releases that Friday. Sometimes it's the film that releases the next Friday because I post it wrong. But and it's been so fun doing those for the Elm Street franchise because it's just so colorful and just so many cool shots. And like, yeah, for Dream Child, there as much as I bitched about it just not being quite as dynamic as 4, I think, like you said, it's just that 4 just set the bar so high, where then it's still really good. There's still a lot of interesting shots, and like the whole baby angle is like, and how they shoot it and do the ultrasound. I like how they, even to this day, it's a interesting effect and doesn't look cheesy.
That looks great. The vagina tunnel is fantastic. That whole oh my God, ultrasound scene is fantastic. No, this movie has a lot of fun stuff. Again, I just, Lisa Wilcox had better friends in the past movie, which I guess is also unfair because it's like half of them were from Part 3, which is a fucking classic. Mm-hmm. And this is Rush, but really, I think people are too harsh on this movie. It has everything that makes an Elm Street movie good. It's just not as good, but I feel like that's not a fair way to take this. Mm-hmm. The kills are interesting. They'll cut back, but like as we talked about, them cutting back here, we still get enough to where I'm okay with it. Like I really am. I'm fine.
No, no, I agree. They're able to, and especially even this viewing, I liked the characters more than I have in the past. I mean, they are poor imitations of damn near. I mean, we have like a parallel for their character in 4, so that's kind of rough. But I disliked them less this viewing and had more fun with them, so that helped. And then the deaths themselves. I mean, Dan on the motorcycle,
yeah, top kill.
Yes, top kill, 100% best kill. It's why I really, really hope, and I think we are. I think for the 4K, I think there will be an unrated cut that we get that just has that in and has the Greta, and because that footage exists. There's a German release that has the Blu-ray.
It's not lost, right?
Yeah,
it's like they can clean it up. It's not like some VHS shit like it's from New Blood.
Yeah, I think I want to say it's Germany that has the uncut version that you can like literally buy on eBay right now. So it is out there and it's in good quality. So I don't think it's like awful quality. I shouldn't say good quality. It's not an awful quality. I think it's similar to the My Bloody Valentine. The original did that, where they like added in the bits, but you can kind of tell there's a quality degradation during the stuff that's put back in. Unfortunately, they're just not stored in the same pristine conditions that the actual camera negative would have been stored. Obviously, it's very valuable.
I mean, as long as, like I said, it's better than the New Blood, which it was like recorded off of like a VHS camera. I mean, it's like, if it's better than that, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, worst comes to worst, it's just a feature on the disc. Like we'll still get it in some way, but I want it in the film. So I want that. Me too. Yeah. Like I want that.
Same with Greta.
The what? Oh yeah. Same with Greta.
Greta's kill, where it's like he's ripping out a stomach and feeding it to her. Like I'd like that in the film, even if it goes a little. I think I own movies where, like it cuts and it's like, oh, this is a little grainier. It's a little, but it's like, I don't give a shit. I could have fun.
It's, I'm curious as to your opinion on this. I have, so like, for example, T2 has a special edition. I think the theatrical edition is the better version of the film. However, when I want to spend more time in that world, like I throw on the extended. Same with Aliens. I guess I'm picking two James Cameron movies, but it's like, I think the theatrical cut is the superior version. However, because it's just, I think pacing's a big thing for me. And I think pacing's real good in that. But when you just love the world, pacing doesn't really matter. So then you're just like, let me just be in this. Oh, 3.5 hours. Yeah, let me be. Not that it's. I think it's only 240, but it's like, yeah, let me just be in the whole thing. So what's your where do you fall with that?
As long as I'm given both versions on a disc, I'm happy. I actually like that. I agree with. Well, I don't know if I disagree with you on Aliens. I'd have to see. I haven't seen the theatrical in a long time. I think I've been watching the director's cut for fucking last like 15 years. So I'd have to come back to you on that. But I agree with T2. But my whole thing is I need both versions available on the same not disc, I should say, but the same movie I buy. Yeah. I want the choice. Don't give me a director's cut.
Yeah.
And that's all I could watch. I need to be able to kind of choose. That's if I got that, then I'm fine. I'm trying to think of other movies. I feel like there's movies where I like the theatrical better, but I love owning. Oh, okay. Army of Darkness. I prefer the theatrical 100%. But I really do like the director's cut. I like, hanging out in that time, seeing more Bruce Campbell, more of the world. But it's almost like an extended special feature to me. I want it at my disposal.
This is a great way to mention Waterworld, the Ulysses cut, which we are just about to cover in our summer soiree.
I can't give my opinion on that, but we will talk.
But yes. I just mean in terms of
different cuts
were then, because it's like, don't make me fucking buy a separate thing. The fact that they released like the Donner cut, it's like, what the fuck? This needs to be on. This should just be another version on the Superman 2 disc. Why do we have a whole separate? I'm not buying a whole separate thing for what amounts to a fan cut. Because it's like, no, they weren't able to do. He wasn't able to film stuff. So it's like you're putting all these elements together. It's like, no, don't do that shit. It's like put it all on one thing. It's like if I bought the black and chrome edition of Mad Max, which I know you don't like, but if I bought that and it only had that edition on it, where it's like, the fuck, give me the color version too. Yes. I want both. Yes. Where it's like, thankfully that does, but it's like if it just was black and white, like what's the point of this?
I think we both agree that I wouldn't call us archivists, but I definitely don't. I hate editing. I hate censorship. And I know that's not necessarily what we're talking about, but it's all under the same umbrella, which is don't disappear things. Mm-hmm. How about this? I heard they're making a 4K of Highlander 2. Now, I love Highlander 2. I understand why nobody does. It's this weird, stupid sci-fi movie that for some reason I loved as a kid and watched with my dad. That being said, and that is the better cut. The fucking Renegade cut is the cut that you need to see if you're going to watch a stupid movie. But that fucking Alien cut, that original stupid Alien cut, I want on that Blu-ray. Or if I should say 4K. I want it existing. Don't fucking disappear that because we all hate it.
No.
I need it to exist. Don't disappear things.
I'll say right now, Highlander 2 will be a commentary track at some point for Needlessly Nostalgic, because Lance and I already technically did a commentary track for it with during the Cheesy Movies for Charity, and had such a blast and had so much content just discussing random shit in the movie. And it's like, I don't remember anything that happened at this point. It's like, I know we could definitely do that, and I wouldn't have any interest in covering the actual franchise. So all I'm saying is I'm with you on that, and I would buy a Highlander 2 4K, and I own the first one in 4K.
Good. Well, the good news is they'll sell about 4 of them, and 2 of them will be you and me. So,
yep. Dude, it's gorgeous though. It's so gorgeous.
Look, you're talking to. I gave up because people are just like, that's stupid. It's like, yes, that is stupid.
You know what? I have a controversial opinion. I liked Highlander 2 more than the first Highlander.
Oh, look at you.
I like so bad they're good movies. Take the heat
off of me, buddy.
I thought the first Highlander was very generic. I have to revisit it. I only watched it for the first time a couple months ago, and I couldn't get into it, especially after I saw the second one first. And the second one is just so much fun and so ridiculous and over the top and canon.
Next time you're over, we'll watch it, because I do think it's. Here's the thing, though. Highlander is a better movie, though. It's like a story's a little more simply told. It makes sense.
Say that. Yeah.
It's very epic and beautiful. So it's like, so people love it because it's this like super schlocky, but like it's taken real serious. Part 2, though, it's just like a clusterfuck of weird decisions. So it's like, I get where you're coming from, but I love that you're saying this on air, because I've been defending Part 2 my whole life. And it's like, man, that kind of shit I get. Cause I'm like, nah, it's fun, man. It's a fun movie. Fucking go watch 3 and then come back and tell me that 2 is bad.
No,
but regardless, so we're talking about, we on Freddy?
So number 4, mine's Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Mine is Dream Master.
No shit.
Yeah, from here on out, it's gonna get real fucking real sticky, my friend.
Number 3, Dream Warriors.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Oh, there we go. Number 3 is Dream Warriors. So
no, wait. I said my number 4 is Dream. I'm sorry. My number 4 is Dream Master. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. And then said number 3, Dream. Because you said Warriors, right?
Dream Warriors. I'm gonna say mine is a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, number 2, Dream Master. So let's talk about Dream Master. I'm going first since I got it ranked 2. So I've always had Warriors ranked higher. This is just always, I don't know. It's just a fact of life of like, yep, Dream Warriors is better. This viewing, I loved Dream Master so much. I think it's the Rennie Harlan of it all. I really like Rennie Harlan. He just has a style that I just enjoy. It's so over the top and bombastic and very visual. And I think the thing that always held this, that I always like put Warriors over Master, was Kristen. Tuesday night versus Patricia Arquette. And Patricia Arquette wins out every day. But I don't know. Talking with you about both films made me realize of how much Dream Master is the blueprint. It's the blueprint. I love Dream Warriors, but it's not the blueprint in terms of like them going to this mental hospital. We're not really getting the suburban element of Elm Street, which I enjoy. Dream Master is giving us all, like every element that you would want from an Elm Street. We're getting just everything. So I can't say enough good things about Dream Master. Alice Johnson, such a strong transition from like for a lead character of has talked in the past of how crazy the Elm Street franchise is for its just shifting of lead characters out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna pass the torch to this person instead, even though you just got to know them. They do it a lot, which is crazy. It's shocking that people weren't more against it, but also
it worked, which is weird.
Yeah. And also it's like franchises weren't a thing. The 80s were figuring out what a franchise is versus nowadays. We've seen so many. Everyone knows what to expect, the wild swings you might expect around like sequel 5 or 6 or the reboot that happens or this or the legacy sequel. There's almost like the Scream dynamic with it where they're able to pick it apart in a scientific equation. But yeah, we don't need to have like, there's always been something about Dream Master that just appeals to me in a way that I'm shocked. If I didn't love the first one so much, this one could have been number 1. It was that close. But yeah, what about you, Dream Master?
I don't think I mentioned this during the episode, but I think I mentioned it probably in some episode of our podcast back in the day that I rented one Nightmare on Elm Street when I was very little. It was the same exact time that Home Alone was released brand new on VHS. I got to rent this, so I was a little kid. I don't know why my mom let me. And it was this one because it's where Freddy's pulling his face with the like crazy metal glove. Mm-hmm. So it's weird. That's my first one. The thing about this movie for me, and I loved it this time around, is I've always liked it. But I am a bit of a contrarian. And we're going to fight on this, but this is the one I swear that everybody talks about. This is everybody's favorite. So I would probably say in my teens and 20s, I never disliked it, but it was definitely one where like, I was like, I'm going to look other places. Of course, I've grown. I'm not an asshole like I was as a teen. I completely get it. This breaks a lot of the rules that I would have held dear to this series, and the fact that it works, I can't really explain. Freddy putting on the risky business sunglasses shouldn't work. I don't know why it does. Having Freddy kind of lit more, I would just say, in the frame, still dynamic, and I think that really helps. And I think Harlan does have a very stylish eye. That being said, this does a lot of things that shouldn't work, but it does the thing that I've come to love. And I do think the seeds are planted in 3, and we will get to that. I think seeds are planted in 3. 4 is where Harlan took those ideas and I think rounded them out. Mm-hmm. The extensive parts of the dreams where we have stages of getting weirder and crazier, as opposed to part 1, like I've said, where their whole thing is trying to trick you. Like, you don't know when you're dreaming. Like, oh, it's this is a dream. That's the thing. We're this. It's like, fuck. Oh, okay. We're immediately in a dream. Some girl like shuts her eyes, opens it up, and the classroom is now rotting. Like, I love that aspect of it. I love the colors. In fact, I was so convinced that the series after 4 took this stylistic approach that I'm more upset at myself for being wrong, because this is really the most colorful one. Like, yeah, there's some colors in 5, but like, this is it. Why the fuck did I think this series became colorful after 4? Why? I thought the whole thing was MTV after 4. Listen, Alice is an amazing lead. She's tough. The fact that we're getting my favorite lead in 4, which is something that I don't know if I even knew before. I don't think I really ever thought of her as my favorite lead until this time. But I prefer Lisa Wilcox's Alice over Nancy or Patricia Arquette's Kristen, right? So this has the coolest looking desk, the most interesting visual approach. The pacing is fantastic. It's rock and roll. I like the characters. I get why this is the big one. And this is, I think that I still want to fight you. I still think this is the most popular one, though. We have yet to prove who's right or wrong. I feel like we got to do a poll.
Remember, Andrew Hatfield agreed with me.
No, Andrew does. It does not. No, that doesn't count. Andrew's just one of us. You need to go ask some mom who was like 22 in 1988. I need her opinion. That being said, though this is the poster child for what the series will become, and this is what I believe Freddy vs. Jason, that Freddy was modeled after, even if it was focused and filtered through 2003, I still prefer a slightly darker Freddy in my heart and soul. But I'm willing to admit, and I'm willing to say that if this is people's favorites and this is the standard, I'm okay with that, because I think what it did is why we still talk about Freddy Krueger to this day, even if we haven't had a movie in 15, 16 years.
Yeah, I agree. It's you nailed it again. What's your favorite kill from Dream Master?
The bike. Wait, no. Yeah, the bikes. This one is not Bike's 5. Bike's 5, right? The Cockroach. Cockroach is this one.
Yeah, Cockroach. Yeah.
Cockroach is great. Yes. Yeah,
I'd agree. Cockroach is pretty. Not Rick and the flying glove.
I mean, listen. I think the flying glove is the pinnacle, but I'm a fan of the cockroach. The flying glove should be essentially the kill that they show like in the montages. Yeah. Because there's nothing I like more than a bloodless, cheap-looking, generic kill. I know they ran out of money, but it's one of those things where it's like, at least that's some blood, man.
Yeah, don't cut away.
You didn't fucking shoot that like on the way to the premiere. Come on, stop it. No, cockroach kills best, hands down.
Yeah, I agree. You're number 2.
New Nightmare. So, talk about New Nightmare.
What? This doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. Because you said my number 3. Oh no, so we're on my number 3, right?
Wait, what was your number 3 then?
Nightmare on Elm Street. So I'm surprised you didn't give me any shit for it.
This doesn't. Where's Dream Warriors at?
Dream Warriors is number 1. My Dream Warriors number 1, 2 is New Nightmare, 3 is Nightmare on Elm Street, and then 4 is Dream Master.
Oh my God. Yeah. You threw me for a loop because I'm like, wait, how?
I know.
We've lost one. Okay.
Because I was
so
expecting more of a
so your
fight.
number 2 is Dream Warriors.
No,
Where's Dream
Warriors
Warriors?
is my first. That's the best one they ever made.
Okay.
That's why.
So that's why okay.
Yeah.
Then
we're on New Nightmare, I believe.
New Nightmare.
Because you already named him, yes.
Yes. Okay. Whew. That's why I'm like, I don't understand why. How do we lose one? I just didn't expect it to be
because
number.
my
I just
ranking
didn't
is
expect it
so
to be your number
controversial.
1.
I threw you off.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be number 1. Well, we've talked about these movies. I didn't expect that.
I told you that these last 3 I had to like meditate on. I spent a week on my top 3 because I wasn't sure, man. These 3 could go anywhere, but
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Here's the reason why. New Nightmare did the impossible. It was able to match the tone of the original, take a character that was way too popular, way too front-facing, way too fun, way too cool, and make him creepy. And I don't give a shit. You're like, I wasn't Freddy. Fuck you. It means nothing to me. He acts like Freddy. He looks like Freddy. Like, it's still Freddy Krueger. Like, yes, it's in the context of this film, it's a demon. But I mean, it's essentially just like stripping it back to essentially what it was in the first movie.
Yeah.
Just kind of focused slightly different. So the fact that they could accomplish that, I still think is amazing. I think it's Heather Langenkamp's best acting. I think Wes Craven really stepped up in terms of like making it feel different. And it's just been something that I've always been drawn towards. I mean, I feel like, I don't know where this stands now. I think we've talked about, like, I think it got a lot of accolades back in the day. I think we might be in a period of like, it's not as popular or there's some issues because some stuff did stick out. Obviously the ending stuck out a little more this time, being a little clunky and goofy.
Yeah. There's definitely been a bit of like pushback against this movie for its TV movie aesthetic. It's been the main thing that I've seen.
And that's something I usually would hate, but I think why I like it is that it feels real, and being that the movie is set around that whole aspect, I'm far more forgiving of it because it's like that's the point. Like even there's a lot of handheld shots and stuff like that. It's very against the grain. It's not colorful, but up until probably my late 20s, I still found this unsettling at parts. And I think that's just amazing. I love Freddy's look. I love the style of this. I love that she has become Nancy one more time. I think that whole arc is beautiful. I think the kid's good. There's something about this movie that I've always loved and I will continue to, man. It's just for some reason connects to me. I don't know why. It could there's a good chance of this just being like the fact that it's the greatest comeback story of all. Like, this is fucking Rambo. This is Rocky Balboa. This is like, no. You fucking ended it on a joke. And to come back and somehow not trip over your own feet, but deliver, I think, not even like an okay movie, but a great movie. I'm sorry. That's fucking deserving of, an applause.
Yeah, it's Wes Craven's return to the franchise, and I mean, Scream is so important to me, and this is a precursor to Scream, so
yes,
I think that will always have this one held in high regard for me personally, because I don't think, maybe we get Scream without New Nightmare because Kevin Williamson, it's like, who knows? Like, Kevin Williamson, I don't think he was inspired by New Nightmare, so it's not like there was that kind of domino effect. But would Craven have been on it? Which also, I think Craven was a big reason why those movies work so well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see the butterfly effect that spans off from this film.
I mean, can I ask you as a Scream fan? Because I saw the first, I've seen all of them. No, that's a lie. I saw the first 3 in theaters and then I walked away. Regardless, Kevin Williamson wrote Scream, but clearly Craven was in a mindset of meta deconstructing of the genre itself. So do you feel that he found a script that he liked and then worked with Kevin Williamson to sort of get it where it needs to be? Or do you feel like Kevin Williamson wrote this meta script and Craven was like, holy shit, I'm really that's what I'm into right now. I'm looking for this.
Yeah, it's that. I've read the Scary Movie, the original draft, and it's damn near 1-to-1 with the completed film. I think that just what Craven brings to it was just that tension, you know, the right tone and the right moment, because just weird, like in the wrong hands, Scream comes across as a comedy, which thankfully with Craven, it's like, yeah, there's humorous elements, but no, it's still, that's a horror film. Like you can feel the dread and that you can feel for these characters. And it's, I think that is something that Craven definitely is able to pull off well, because he gets you to care for people. He has I've always kind of been not against him, but he just hasn't been my favorite compared to like a Carpenter, because he has he's much more generic in terms of the visuals, and he does prefer a slower pacing. And so that always struck me as an issue. But now I'm, you know, examine what a director's job is a little differently. And I do like what Craven does in terms of performance and character arc. He's really able to bring you along with his characters. And I think that's one of the big elements of this film that works well, is Heather Langenkamp, and following her on this journey. It's tough too, because you're dealing with this mixture of, we're talking about Heather, but then there's a weird parallel with Nancy, where then sometimes it's the reality of the original Nightmare on Elm Street is then coming out into the real world. And there's things that then make it different, like that just make it a little more unique than what you would expect. And I think a lot of that is Craven, because I mean, he wrote and directed this. It was clearly coming from a very inspired place. And it's like, yeah, if the mark's against it, or it's just like, it sucks, because you want to, based on the story that's being told, you need Craven as an actor in it. You need Bob Shaye as an actor, which that's pretty fucking brutal. I mean, Craven gets through it. He has so much exposition, and it's like, exposition's hard with an actor's actor, let alone a director that's just trying to say stuff. And then it's like, Bob Shaye's just terrible. So
I've said in the episode before, the exposition should have been cut. I don't need to know that this is a demon that's been around. Like, you can infer that this is some sort of entity without having to spell it out. Like, it's been around for 15,000 years. It's like, let's just fucking say that there's something, it's something in the ether, something in between the worlds. I don't know what it is. Boom. That's all I got to say. But yeah, some of the acting is a little clunky, but you're right. It's because they're real actors, though, are real people. Though a part of me is like, you tell me it's real world and have Heather Langenkamp. You could just fucking give me an actor as Bob Shaye. Like, I'm sorry, that's like for the hardcore fan, but fucking Betsy isn't being like, well, that's not Bob Shaye. That's an actor.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's people they could have sprinkled in. Even Wes Craven's like, get some fucking guy that looks like him. Come on. Yeah. Though he was better in Body Bag, so part of me just thinks that he couldn't handle the dialogue he wrote for himself, which is ironic.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned like the exposition with him in particular. It's like, yeah, we've seen him do a good performance in the past, but also when you're directing yourself, it's probably a lot more difficult than being directed by someone else. So you have someone behind the monitor to go, one more. Well, let's do it a little more, a little less. Give me a little less. No one's telling him that.
Wes Craven did the one take. He's like, done and done.
Well, especially him. He has all that dialogue. I'm sure it was mostly about just getting the words out versus performance.
Obviously. I would say you nailed it, dude.
Can't remember. I was just reading something. It was like because that Suits LA got canceled, and there was some Reddit thread that there was like a crew member who was like, yeah, I'm not shocked. Stephen Amell could never remember his lines. He turned like 12-hour days into 18-hour days. Or it's like, that is the kind of thing. Or it's like, yeah, if you have some like line memorization, like, yeah, if you have trouble with that, it's tough to be a legit actor.
And that's like the basics.
Yeah.
Like I was always told, like, you have to know your lines so well, you have to think about them, so then you can actually focus on the acting part.
Yeah. Who was it? There's some actor who recently just said, read the script 250 times. So it's
Well, wasn't it Anthony Hopkins? No,
Yeah.
am I making that up? I could be making that up.
Yep, it was Anthony Hopkins because he got asked. Someone asked him, or it was like I've always heard that it's like that you do this thing. Like, is this true or is this just hearsay? And he's like, no, that's 100% what I do. Read the script 250 times, make sure it's like I know it like the back of my hand. Like that's Craven wrote it, and he didn't even read this thing 250 times.
No, he did a take. Which is fine. You know, the guy was busy. I get it, and you know, he should have had an actor be himself. He should have had an actor be Bob Shapoff. Whatever. It's charming in a way that I'm okay with. You know, it's not flawless. There's some things I would fix, but it's still, I think it knocks out of the park, and it does the impossible, which is bringing it back. It's a comeback, which you know as well as I are so hard to pull off. Even if you have the same director, same writers, same actors, same producers, you get the same fucking crew, and still get Dumb and Dumber 2. That's all I'm going to say.
I assume your favorite kill is Julie, the babysitter, skin the cat moment.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's not much in here. It's not that much of a kill movie, but it's more, you know, visual. But yeah, that's a great callback. It's mean, and it's lit in a way that's, you know, could look goofy. It's really bright, but it still looks creepy. Freddy looks great, man.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Well, let's talk about Nightmare on Elm Street. That's my number 1.
Okay, can I say one thing before you start? This is the hardest thing for me because I put it number 3 this time. I just want to say this because I have to have this on air, and I got to start now before I forget. On its own, this is the best movie in the series. On its own, if nothing else, like nothing else can exist with this movie for me. I love it to death. It's not 3 for me because I think any less of it, I think it's a perfect movie, but it is a pilot of a TV series. And, you know, once you really get into characters, it's like, you go back to the pilot, it's like, oh, it's like the skeletons of what I love. So that's all I want to say before I get into my thing. But I do want to say that it's not 3 because I think it's flawed. It's a fucking beautiful, perfect movie. And if the sequels could be separated and didn't exist, I would say it's one of the best movies of all time. It's not my favorite Elm Street. So go.
Yeah,
so I'll come off like a jerk.
Our top 3s are both 4 out of 4 stars. So
yes,
it's like it's all just at this point a matter of as being subjective as possible, because it's like, yeah, we all consider these are all great films on a pretty much the same level. So it's all just, oh, well, I had more experience with this one. Oh, I have good memories with this one. It's all stuff that's very much a personal choice, which, yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said. I mean, I would fight anyone if they wouldn't consider this to be the best in the franchise, because it is. It's very good. Favorite, I understand where you're coming from too, because it's not, we see how different the Elm Street series gets from here. I love a pilot. Always do. Love the Simpsons and how weird it is in its first season. King of the Hill. It's just even Seinfeld. It's like, I love a awkward first season, and there's awkwardness in this, just in the that they don't know the rules later on that are then established. Like, because we have great thing about the Elm Street series is they add stuff every film. Sometimes it doesn't work, like the second one, but when they do, it really just it fits. It's like, oh, it's like Cinderella getting her shoe back on. It's like she didn't have it. It's like, oh, it fit perfectly. It's like, didn't even know that it needed to be on there. And so there's something of like, oh yeah, we don't get this or that element in the first film of like, oh, Freddy being, you know, more toying with your deep-seated insecurities, which obviously gets more established in the third film. This first one, it very much is more just like, I want to torment and kill you because your parents fucked me over. Like, so now my whole thing is just death. I want you guys to die. And it's a bit different than what we get later on, but it's so well done. And Heather Langenkamp, I love her performance as Nancy. I think that she's just so likable and fun. And while not especially compared to like when you see what Rooney Mara. Which, by the way, did you know I only found this out recently? Rooney Mara, that's her stage name. Her name is, I think, Catherine or something. Jessica.
Is it from her family? Where does Rooney come from?
So she had like that's like her mom, either her mom or dad's side. It's Rooney, and then the other one is Mara. Her real name is Patricia Rooney Mara. So there's the Rooneys. They're super rich. Her mom is Kathleen McNulty Rooney. Then her dad is Timothy Christopher Mara. So yeah, it's weird that then her stage name is her, surname, both the surnames of her parents.
Appreciate that. I like that more than I guess just making up a name because a little more legacy to it.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. His
Thomas Mapother?
So strange.
Yep. And what's the other one I've memorized for some reason? I can't remember anything else in my life, but Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys. His name is Eric Boucher.
So fucking random. And then it's like Joaquin Phoenix is Joaquin Phoenix. It's like the names that
stage name.
Yeah, ones you almost expect to be stage names. Like they are not. I think Brad Pitt's a stage name, isn't it?
It has to be. Yeah.
Nope, William Bradley Pitt.
Oh. You see, I just assumed, I was like, Brad Pitt's too cool. It has to be a stage name.
I mean, technically though, he's a Brad. Like Brad is the dean, so he's really a Bill. Brad Pitt's a Bill or a Will. Oh, good old Willie.
William Pitt.
Willie Pitt.
David Bowie's real name is David Jones.
Yeah. Discovered that because of Duncan Jones. So I'm like, wait, why is his last name not Bowie if he's Bowie's kid?
Yeah, Jones, man.
It's crazy. All right. Elm Street. Favorite kill. Or well, no, you talk about it. You haven't talked about it, right?
Well, favorite kill is going to be what's her face? Is it Tina? Tina's an amazing kill. Yeah. I think that's that.
I like Glenn.
I don't know why it was meaner this round. Like maybe just I'm getting older and her begging and screaming just was more. I have a question. I was more empathetic.
Did you? Because you said you hadn't watched this in a while. Do you think maybe the last time you watched it was maybe not with surround sound, maybe in an apartment where you couldn't completely turn everything up?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a house now. I've been in an apartment. I moved out of my house at 18, so I've been in apartments since 18 to my old age now. So yeah, that's absolutely sure. Or absolutely true that could be a volume issue. I'm watching movies at a volume that I have not watched in a very long time, you know?
Mm-hmm. So then you're hearing stuff in the mix where you're like, oh my God.
It seemed aggressive. I mean, this is a beautiful movie. It's let's do all the OGs. We have Halloween, right? Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Hellraiser. Like they're all perfect they're all perfect in their own ways. And the reason this is on the Mount Rushmore because this is so unique, so different. You brought up the fact that Heather Langenkamp's Nancy is proactive pretty much from the start, which is something I've never really kind of put in perspective. But you're right, though. At a time where all the final girls were, they're that stereotypical, running away, screaming, yada, yada. And then they have to be tough. She's tough from fucking like 20 minutes in. She's like, no, we got to do this. We got to here. We got to figure this out. I loved it. The look of it, Craven, it does sort of have a slightly, I hate to say boring, but his style is kind of point and shoot.
Yeah.
But this, maybe because of his cinematographer, this just seemed more dynamic than usual. Maybe he was young, running gun. I don't know what it was. I have no flaws about this. I mean, yes, there are some acting clunky. Absolutely. Is there some effects that don't stick up? Who gives a shit? It's nothing was made like this. It's a mystical revenge flick. The parents, such a cool detail, are almost not in the movie at all, but every time they are, they're pieces of shit. I like that. That's cool. That's a little addition that I feel like a good writer would know, and somebody like me would not even think of. I wouldn't think of put the parents in a perspective like that of just the mom being a drunk, her dad being not necessarily a piece of shit, but just like sort of absent, not really like involved until the end. I love it. I think the only thing I would say is the reason it's 3 for me is because if we continue past this movie, what the sequels do with Freddy is just it's more enjoyable. I always say like a lot of times the best movie in a series isn't always my favorite. And this is this case where like, this is the best movie, hands down, in this series, best movie. But is it my personal favorite? No, because what I'm going to watch more. This is something I know we're different. I wouldn't put this on a ton, just because it's a serious movie. It's setting up things. You like pilots. I like pilots until I get to season 2, and then I'm like, I fucking can't go. Like I've always said this. Like Lost is like one of my favorite shows. It's one of the best pilots ever made. I'll never watch it again. It's like I'm too far along. I fucking that's not my jack right now. I want grumpier, fucking more, in the weeds. So this, I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it. I'd absolutely watch it, but I would put on 3 and 4 twice as much as I put on 1 personally, just because those are a little more, I think, my pace in terms of what I want Freddy to be. Yeah. But if you had a gun in my head and said, keep one movie, destroy the rest, I keep this and destroy the rest.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like, I think I probably would be rewatch. It's hard to say because this is one of my most rewatched films. This and the original Halloween. I watched them so. I mean, this Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, I think I've watched it 4 times this year.
Okay, I'll hold on. I'm sorry, now I got to fucking jump in. We're about to finish this up. Halloween's different. There's not a single sequel in Halloween that even comes close to the first one. I think you just have to accept, like, okay, yeah, 4 is fun. Stupid Mask, gonna have a good time. I like 6, schlocky. I think Halloween's a little rougher fucking series. Yeah. I feel like with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I mean, Halloween. That's very clear. Like, what the fuck? I mean, it's like, what do you even put it to? And anyone, I would accept anyone's number 2. You know what I mean? Except Halloween Ends. You're gonna say Halloween Ends. I'll be like,
or Resurrection.
Yeah, true. But it's like anything else, I'd be like, okay, sure. But number 1 is Halloween. But then, 100%. And then you go to Friday the 13th, and it's like, yeah, the first one is not the best. I would pretty much accept anything for outside of Jason. Jason Goes to Hell. Like, yeah,
it's a crapshoot. But 2, 3, people do, like, some people can be like, I like 1. I'm like, okay, you hate Jason, fair enough. You fucking weirdo. Yeah, but somebody could say 4, 6, 8, 7, 2, 3. So it's like, it doesn't matter. But this is one of those where it's like, Nightmare on Elm Street, it's the best one.
Yeah, agreed. So now we're going to talk about your number 1 Dream Warriors after saying Nightmare on Elm Street's the best.
This is the one I will revisit the most. I actually held off for a while. I think it's the beginning. I think this is a Freddy we all know and love. It just wasn't quite there yet. I don't think Harlan started from scratch. I think he absolutely took from this. Mm-hmm. What surprised me about Dream Warriors is that if you were to ask me before we watched it, I would say this is the start of like jokier, colorful Freddy. More primary colors, more dynamic kills. And it's not like it's the start of it.
Yeah, it's more. But
that
more happens at the end.
Sure, exactly. Like that's the last 20 minutes. But for the most part, they do kind of keep him, a little more hidden, a little more in the shadows. Like not as much as 1. Like he's more out compared to that, but compared to 4, this one is more scaled back.
When we see him, he's in different forms. So then, despite we're seeing him, but it's not just Freddy in a sweater looking the same as he always does. It's worm Freddy. It's marionette Freddy. It's fucking
TV
nurse
Freddy.
Yeah, TV and head Freddy. Yeah. I guess I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you don't really get to see him, but I like that because I think that this set the precedent of him really messing with reality a lot because he didn't do that in the first one. He fucked with you, but this, like you said, he's the worm. This is where it's in the middle of the dreams becoming these extravagant sort of cool set pieces. It's not quite there, but it's not number 1 where Nancy is in a dream for 3 minutes before we realize it.
Yeah.
It is that sort of middle ground. And I think I prefer that the most because I still love the tone of the first because I always prefer more serious stuff usually. I mean, I say that, but then again, Army Darkness is my favorite. So I'm not really the most consistent guy with all these movies, but I think this hits my personal target the best, which is still serious enough, but it has a little more fun. There's some visual flair. It does some cool things. The worm, like you said, the what's his name in the bed over the fucking cool fire pit. It introduces the souls, which isn't that far removed. I mean, it's not a big enough mythology change that I could see myself if I saw this in theaters getting pissed. And I'm glad I'm not that guy anymore, because it adds just enough that I think it's awesome, but it definitely is changing things up. This is more of an active Freddy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, man. I think I prefer Langenkamp over Arquette if I had to pick one. Mm-hmm. But I do think the fact that Arquette is a very strong lead, and that they changed the lead and they still have Heather Langenkamp in the movie, and it doesn't fuck with the feeling of it. You see new movies now like Legacy sequel where it's like, I like my old character. Why am I following this dork or this fucking chick? Why am I following these people when I got the guy I love right there?
Yeah.
This is not that. This is, for some reason it works, and I have a new character, and the Legacy one is still respected. And for some reason I'm not upset. I don't feel bothered. I think they handle it very well.
Yeah.
This does a lot of things. And Amanda Kruger that's introduced. That's introduced as actually all mythology. A Kruger and the fucking Souls. What am I talking about? How the hell did this one work?
Yeah, this is introducing damn near everything that then we. I mean, there's just a lot of elements here where you're like, oh wow, they like his Freddy going after more insecurities happens here. He's just more of a, I don't know, shit talker. And the other, he like fucked with people in the first movie, like the what's the I'm your boyfriend now. Yeah,
for the is that the tongue thing? Yeah, but I think the way he messed with people in the first one was the way it was framed was psychotic, like it was dark. He was fucking with you, but it came off a lot like.
It was generic,
darker,
but it was dark, and it wasn't pointed at like that character's personal history. It was like
not eating disorders.
Yeah,
not
it was it would be evil to anybody. Like he's just And me saying generic makes it almost has like a negative tone to it, but I just mean in terms of all encompassing versus specific. Obviously, Freddy, when he's in the alley with Taryn, specific. He's going after something very specific there.
Let's get high, right?
Yeah.
Wait, is it Let's Get High? Yeah.
Yeah, Let's Get High. Even the Dungeons and Dragons guy, like he's using his wheelchair. Like there's elements where it's like, oh yeah, I like that they're doing this. It adds another wrinkle to things.
It's a little more fun, but it's still, I think, holds back enough for me. And again, we just talked about how I think 4 is fantastic. 4 is a 4-star movie. I think that took the final step, and I think I completely get why people prefer that one. This is just, I think this is my style. This is the line that I would ride the most. And I think it's well, not even think now that we're talking about, no, this absolutely set up everything we know and love. I think everybody else took what this did and altered it in ways that made the franchise more popular. But the Souls, Amanda Kruger, he talks more, like you said, the insecurities. He's going after people's personalities and about them is directed at the kills.
Ooh,
so
the Catholicism angle too is something that's introduced in this that I like, because that's another through line that isn't really there before. That I really I love the religious parallels.
The raping of his nun mom, exactly. Which that sounds bad, but it's dark and cool, and it adds a layer. I guess this somehow took the idea of giving more information on the monster, which is always a bad idea, and probably by luck did it well. Because if you explain more of the monster, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna mess it up or you're gonna ruin it. So I think. I gotta stop saying I think, because I don't think I believe this. I believe it to be a great addition, and you know what? I don't think that other franchises should take this lesson. I really don't. I think this is very specific to Nightmare on Elm Street, but them adding more to Freddy and his backstory in the world made it a better series.
And just a little bit of spitball back and forth. This was a Bastard Son of 100 Maniacs was established in Dream Warriors, right?
I believe so. Yes, I think number 5 is where we get to see it.
Yeah,
I think
Amanda Kruger mentioned. That's why I just wasn't sure if that wasn't established till Dream Master. All of Freddy's,
it's hard to say.
I know Freddy's monikers where it's like, wait, when did they start being a thing? I think 3 and 4.
I'm going to say 3. I don't remember though. It could be 4. It would make sense to be 4 because it'd be like a nice little addition on what we already know. But I feel like when I saw 3, I was like, oh shit, this is everything. It's all in here.
Yeah, I think
everything's in here.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I was saying more of like a 3 and 4 is probably where everything then comes from.
Which, I mean, just think about that on its own. That the most interesting parts of this entire franchise came from parts 3 and 4. That alone goes against every norm, everything I hold dear. 3 and 4? No. 2. 1 and 2, sure.
Yeah.
3 is where you fumble. 4 is where I'm like, oh, come on, man, really?
I mean, even as much as you love the Lethal Weapon franchise, it's like 1 and 2 are still they're still better than 3 and 4.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, because once you're at 3 and 4, it's just, I mean, I think this rule kind of goes out the window a bit once you're getting into these full blown franchise. Like the MCU doesn't quite work in that same way, but
no, because it's not structured the same.
Yeah, but it does when you then go like, it's like break down the Iron Man movies, like 1, 2, 3, where it's like, okay, yeah, then you're having issues because it's like they haven't made another one. Because it's like, yeah, you have the same issue that comes with most 4s. They can't get past 4. They can just make an ensemble movie and include these characters. But yeah, once you're past the trilogy, it's really hard to maintain like narrative interest.
But I'm gonna say something, and you might disagree. I think you do, or maybe you're not sure. I think Lethal Weapon 4 is a fucking amazing movie. I think that's a great comeback movie because 3 is where it fumbles a lot more. But horror, I think, has a lot of different rules you could play with because when you're dealing with reality and stuff, it's not as interesting.
Yeah, and there's always exceptions.
Child's Play 4 is Bride of Chucky, and that essentially reinvigorated the series. Though, I could argue with you, it's not my favorite direction because I think 2 is perfect, and so is 1. But there's a lot of people that probably prefer Bride of Chucky, and I wouldn't fight them. I'm like, I get it. I get that's your bag.
Yep.
That was a cool, that pulled a Dream Master.
Yeah. Because it's hard at a certain point, because obviously there's some series like Mission Impossible this does not apply to. Mission Impossible is like the weird random franchise that somehow managed to make like incredible entries going into, I mean, which one just came out, the 7th or no,
is it 8?
Yeah, it might even be
7,
8.
Hold on. All right, we got 3. Ghost Protocol,
Rogue Nation,
Fallout,
Dead Reckoning,
2 Dead Reckonings,
Dead Reckoning, and Final Reckoning, which I'm so glad they changed the name. Though I'm a little annoyed that now I have a 4K that says Part 1 on it. But
no, that's good though, because that's like a legacy thing where it's like, they got cold feet. Now I want that one. I don't want one that says without number 1 because it's like,
but I think
Part 1.
I could be wrong, and I should know this because I watched it like on Sunday, but I'm pretty sure in the title cards it just says Dead Reckoning. Because I remember being in the theater and being like, oh, it doesn't say Part 1.
Really?
Could be a false memory. I 100% but that's what I remember.
I don't know, and I'm going to wait for there to be like an awesome, hopefully some giant box set. That's what I'm waiting for. I own like a Blu-ray set, but I want like a cool.
Yeah. Now that the series is over, they absolutely will. I mean, it's fucking. I mean, I have the franchise on 4K, and it looks just incredible because each one just looks good. But best kill from
favorite kill,
Marionette for me. I love the Marionette.
Yeah, you know what? I would actually agree. I think the Marionette kill reestablishes, or I should say establishes, not reestablishes, establishes of what Freddy Krueger will do going forward. That's the first time it gets really body horror.
Yeah.
Because number 1 doesn't really do that. There's obviously cool things like Johnny Depp's fucking Fountain Death.
Yeah.
And, what's her name? Tina being dragged. But this is like, oh, we're going to fuck with people's bodies. So that's a fantastic kill. And it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
And it set the series up for what we all know and love.
Yeah, I think Taryn's kill could have potentially been number one if they went into more body horror once Freddy actually inserted himself. Like, if then we start seeing her body, like, I would have loved like a stop motion decay or like Raiders of the Lost Ark level of like her body degrading. Something like that would have been fucking, because it is just a insertion. You see like some veins in her head, but then it's cut away. So then it's like, dang, I would have loved that. Would have put it over the top. But yeah, Marionette.
Yeah, that's fair.
Marionette build up the creativity, but then also the kill itself. I mean, I think it works well, because I think because suicide, like it comes across as a suicide. So then it makes sense as to why it wouldn't be sending alarm bells, because it's like, oh, a kid committed suicide at this mental asylum. Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Like, yeah, I think that's why they're there.
Let's not forget that I think Chuck Russell framing of that shot is beautiful. Yeah. You have that sort of it's like lower. You see that, and it's also I think the set design of the building is this epic Gothic, almost cathedral. We have Freddy superimposed in the sky. I mean, there's like so many elements. It's so interesting. It's the kind of shot where it's like every time you see like montages of kills, that's the shot you see.
Well, I'm curious. So we know what happens when it comes to these 4K restorations. Remember, during that shot, there's a mistake. The stars that are in the sky, they like, some of them are in front of Freddy. Like when that's supposed to, because it's just how they composited. Do you think that's the kind of thing that they might fix in the
Here's
4K?
The thing. If they do, I wouldn't hate it. So you got to pick your battles. I'd prefer them not to, only because I don't know. I think that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, mistake. The mistake is part of the memory. Know.
Yeah, and it's like you don't claim to. I don't know. I think didn't Spielberg say like after the E.T. debacle, he's not going to remove any wires from Jaws. Like it's like if it's in the film. Like I kind of prefer that as that way of looking at it. If they did, it'd be fine. Like listen, it is what it is. We've come to realize that color temperatures are changing so fucking much in 4K. So it's like, you know what? Just give me the movie, make it pretty, make sure it's respected, give me some good interviews. What I'm trying to say is that I guess whatever happens, happens. I'd hope they don't, but it wouldn't deter me. I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't go online and be like, well, I can't believe the story. Yeah. It's like, I don't give a shit.
It's funny because it's like, that's where I am at with any of these 4K restorations. I just care about color timing. It's like, I don't give a fuck what else you do. Just give me the correct color time. Obviously, I don't want don't Lucas it where I'm getting additional scenes that were filmed 20 years later. Like, no, I don't want that. But absolutely. But
don't change the look is what I mean.
Yeah. It's like,
don't change the look of the movie.
Yeah. It's like, should not be a different color timing. If it's a different color timing, go fuck yourself. It's like, no.
Yeah, because that's a different movie.
Yeah. It's like, I don't care that you have 40 years more of experience and so you want to correct your mistake. I want the best representation of that film. It's like Fincher doing Seven. He watched a 35 millimeter cut and to do comparisons with, because he wanted it as close to that as possible. He wasn't just going off of like, oh, this just it needs to look better in my eye now. It's like, no, he was trying to recreate what the look was, which is what I think needs to happen, which does. I'm bringing it back around to Elm Street. That does concern me because I do think that we're going to get some directors for the Elm Street restorations that are wanting to fix their films. Like I could see Shoulder wanting to fix Freddy's Revenge, make it like, you know what I mean? Color timing changes. I could see Talele trying to fix Freddy's Dead in terms of color timing stuff, where then it's like, I don't want that. I want the films to look the same in that regard.
No, yeah. When I want a 4K, to me isn't fixing it. It's just a slightly better quality that should, but it's not always needed. I think Blu-ray works a lot of times actually just as well. But the problem is this series didn't get a good Blu-ray release, so this is all I have. So I'm at the mercy of everybody not New Line, whoever owns New Line now, is it Warner Brothers, whatever. But regardless, I don't want them to mess with it. But at the same time, I'm just going to wait to see what happens, because regardless, I'm going to own it. So let's just hope we're lucky, I guess.
Like, regardless, I'm going to own it. It will be purchased. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm waiting to see whatever price gets announced, because I'm like, oh, hope it's not going to break bank. But well, I think we have pretty much done it. I think we need to, I think we briefly talked about it, but we'll go over it again. We've got our summer soiree of 2025.
Soiree, nice.
Yeah.
Wait. I think I was against, soiree. Wait, was I against that?
No, you like.
Is that the stupid one spelled all weird?
It's spelled weird, yes.
Fucking soiree. Whatever, okay. Our summer soiree.
Yeah, well.
Some sort of, is there an O in there?
It's because it has SOIREE.
That's too easy.
I know, it's a French
something that.
Whatever. It's a fun word. Andrew Hatfield came up with it
summer soiree.
Yeah, so we've got essentially because we have a brief little break before we get into another franchise chat, which I mean we'll just say we're going to be getting into the Halloween series, where then we're trying to time it. So then essentially our ranking episode will come out the last weekend of October. So because of that, we had 3 weeks free in the middle of July. And so we wanted to do some water-based films, which I tried adding water into the title. And every time it just came off like water sports 20, like it just like came off weird. Wild water like adventures. Yeah. Doesn't sound right. So do you want to announce the 3 movies that we're covering?
Of course, we're covering 3 of the greatest movies of all time that I think belong in that beautiful, hot summer watch. And that is going to be Captain Ron, Waterworld, and of course, one of the greatest beach movies ever made, Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. This is going to be talk about, I mean, if there's any concern for the length of these episodes, I am genuinely worried about the Waterworld episode. It's like, I feel like we might need to carve out like a weekend.
Part 1 and 2. Hey, we make it a 2-parter. Who cares? It's going to be beautiful. I'm excited because these are movies. I love all these movies. I have deep ties to all of them, and I am going to, I'm going to have a blast, man. I'm going to have a blast. I'm so close. I'd rent a boat and record on a boat if I could.
Oh, if only. I mean, I'm very excited for, I mean, it's not like we've been covering like shit that we wouldn't want to or anything like that, but I mean, what's better than watching a bunch of summery movies in the summer and with this beach style and also just the fact that both of these or all 3 of these movies mean so much to the both of us. It's rare to have three movies that you can kind of pair together for a soiree, but also and I'll have that kind of connection of something, and also be something that's obviously connected to both of our childhoods because we grew up on all 3 of these films. I owned all 3 on VHS. What about you?
Yes. I maybe not Captain Ron. Captain Ron might have been one I just rented a lot because there's for some reason random movies I just rented 60 times.
You know, I think that might have been the same for me.
Yeah, I own Weekend at Bernie's and Waterworld for sure. 100%.
Same. Yeah. You saying that made me go, yeah, I think I was actually the same with Captain Ron. Which, speaking of, Disney, get your shit together and give us a 4K Captain Ron release. We don't even have it on Blu-ray. Like, give it to us. We need it. We need.
Yeah, this is absolutely a tropical movie. Come on, guys.
Can you imagine the shower scene in 4K? It's going to be an R-rated release.
They'd have to go on in there like a digital blur just because of it.
Well, I think we have done the Elm Street franchise justice, I believe. This has been so much fun to go through this franchise. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this ranking. You guys can make sure to listen to all of our previous Nightmare on Elm Street episodes. We've also covered the Friday the 13th series. the John Carpenter's filmography, his entire filmography, and then we've done 10 Stephen King films. So if any of those interest you, make sure to check those out. We also have a Patreon where we have 2 exclusive episodes a month, usually a commentary and a monthly roundup where we go over some of our recent watches. Goodbye.